Morning, traders. Let's dance a little bit. Beth's in the house. She's dancing around. Get up, get down, get down the wind. I don't even know the words. All right, guys. If I'm going to come in here and start singing and dancing, I at least should know the words. Wakey, wakey. I ate the wrong cookie last night and I can't wake up. Mr. Angel, what's up? Good morning, traders. And happy hump day. My favorite day of the week. Woo! I'm excited to be here. I'm ready to rock and roll. We got some opportunity in the market today. So far, we are absolutely on fire with our pre-markets analysis. DCSC, PHUN. All of these stocks rocking and rolling. So everybody inside of chat, hit me with a big old good morning. And everybody on YouTube, hit me with that big old good morning as well. Rebecca, how we doing? Jamie, Beth, Trader King, Alan, Angel, Kids King. Woo, Steve, Mr. Steve, how we doing? Arlene, Barbie, good morning. Chris, how we doing, buddy? Welcome back. Happy to have you here. I'm excited. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm ready for another awesome trading day to lock in some big time profits. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to hone in? Are you guys ready to make it happen? Take some great trades and watch those big time profits come into those accounts, because guys, that's what I'm looking for today. Some big time profits inside of Profit Chat. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Joe, Joey, Diego, Ed, good morning. And once again, happy Money Wednesday. Happy hump day. Steve, good morning as well. All right, team, let's go ahead and start with our morning stock newsletter. Let's go ahead and talk about what we have going on for the day. It's actually a pretty easy one. All right, it's actually a pretty easy day. All right, team, so again, gonna go ahead and dive right into it, not waste any time. I want to have some time towards the end to go ahead and review some of your stocks. So we're gonna brush through this very quickly, but very efficiently at the same time to get you guys focused for the day. So good morning, team. It's hump day, and I'm ready for another exciting day of trading. We saw some great profits once again in the stock market yesterday as traders came out of the gate strong, and you guys absolutely crushed it. Way to work. Keep it up, and let's make February a phenomenal month, guys. All right, live streams up every morning at 7, commentary at 9 a.m. As you guys know, chat's open 24/7, 365, so you can come by anytime and say, what's up, Mr. Josh? I'm always here to help you guys out. So, stocks with news today. SNDL, granted, 180-day extension. I have a lot of traders asking me about SNDL. Ladies and gentlemen, let's look at the stock real quick. SNDL currently gapping up 8%, but here's what I do not like, right? Average volume, 100 million. Okay. What are we trading today? 4.2. We're nowhere close to the volume here in pre-market. So that's not really showing me that this is where traders are focused. What's probably one of the biggest reasons why traders aren't focused on SNDL right now? Look at that float. It's a $2 billion in float. I mean, it's going to take a lot to get that stock going. Now, when there's hype in the cannabis market, the cannabis sector, and we see Tilray, Aurora, and we see these pot stocks moving, then yes, when we have that sector sympathy and we have just strong attention and focus in that particular sector, okay, SNDL, let's rock and roll. But for SNDL to really be a top stock, it needs to be trading some volume. It needs to have like really good news, not 180-day extension. That really doesn't mean a lot to me. We're not seeing the volume that really excites me, and that float definitely does not excite me as well. All right, doesn't excite me. So again, we need to step up on volume. It's going to take a lot to get this stock going. We know that large floats are slow, steady movers. Right, it takes a lot to get those stocks moving. Right, lower floats, they rip and run pretty quick. I want to find a stock that has potential to move 50 cents, $1, $2 in the matter of minutes, not 2 to 3 cents throughout the course of the day. So I'm not a fan of SNDL simply because of the volume and the flow, and it's going to take a lot to get this going when the market opens. And honestly, I think we have much better opportunity in the market today. But if you like SNDL here towards the end, I'll take some time and we will review it. SOPA currently gapping down 30%. Press release, public offering, right? That's one big scary thing with penny stocks. It can be scary. If you're looking to swing trade a penny stock, they are known for announcing offerings, which causes the stocks to normally gap down aggressively. That's why SOPA, our top gainer from yesterday, one of the top gainers that we made some good profits on, they issued an offering. That's why the stock is gapping down 30%. Again, I don't think it's worth your time. ARVO today reported interim data from an ongoing phase 1 out of 2 clinical trial. Here on ticker ARVO, right? This stock in pre-markets does not look good whatsoever. Okay, so really what I'm noticing today, guys, is we don't have an abundance of press releases, right? We have some, but they're not the best press releases. There's not 10 to 15 of them. And what I can see is traders aren't going to the stocks that have press releases, right? That's not where the focus is. Where are traders going at this point in time based on what we see here in pre-market? Prior day movers. And these prior day movers right now have some of the best potential. So again, I wanted to brush through stocks with news. Not a lot. And what we can see with each and every stock is there's not a lot of action. The only one is MITQ, but even MITQ doesn't look all that great as far as the price action and the movement. But again, we should watch MITQ for a couple reasons, right? There is a press release. They're up on earnings. It actually looks better than some of the other ones like IFBD or AVRO. And MITQ is a lower float stock as well. It's 7 million in float. On average, it trades less than 800,000 shares. And today in pre-market, trading just about 5. So overall, I think there's potential, but I think there's better opportunity elsewhere. And we're getting ready to go ahead and talk about those. But if you guys are watching MITQ, you have 140 support. So as long as MITQ stays above 140, we could absolutely see this back up to those pre-market highs. And then we do have some potential up towards around that 50 SMA at 183 on MITQ. But at this point in time, I'm actually going to put it on my back burner because I think there's a few other stocks that have better potential right out of the gate. Now, if those stocks fade and fall and we see that volume and attention shift to MITQ, well, we're prepared. 140 support. We have room to pre-market highs of 165, and then it could potentially see 50 SMA, 183. Why is it moving, right? They released earnings. What's the float? It's low. Good volume. We're already prepared, right, to a certain extent to where if this stock does give us an opportunity, we could simply react to it and we can lock in some profits, guys. All right, so MITQ for now, a little bit of a back burner. I don't really see a lot of opportunity today with AVRO. And, IFBD, I'm just not crazy about IFBD. We have the volume, the float's low, but we don't have a strong catalyst. And it's not like this is a strong prior day mover. The last press release that we had on IFBD was back on the 2nd of February. So, I mean, you're talking last Wednesday. It's a week later. The stock on the 2nd gapped up, closed red. I mean, it just started to get a little bit of traction. And I think a lot of traders are moving into the stock for the simple fact that it broke back above $1. That's why I think this stock is getting that action. And seeing a little bit of focus and some volume is simply because we broke back above $1. And this is what got the stock going. So I'm not crazy about IFBD, but the volume is there, right? 5 million shares on average, 200,000. The low float stock, it could definitely move. There is some potential to the upside, but we just don't have that catalyst to really make me feel super confident that, hey, this is the stock that I want to watch out of the gate, right? So we do want to watch IFBD above $1 to 105, right? The 50 SMA at 105. And we do have some potential, maybe back up towards around 140 to 150. That's not bad, right? If this sets up and we see some action and some volume with IFBD, hey, we have room from 105 up to at least 140 to 150. Again, I think there's better opportunity out there in the market at this point in time. You guys agree? And we're getting ready to dive into that. So MITQ with news, right? I think the stock has some potential. It definitely should be on watch, but right now at this point in time, it's a back burner. IFBD, again, no news. Simply broke $1, and I think that's what's driving some focus and interest and attention on over to IFBD. We have the volume, the float's low, there's potential to the upside. I don't think it's the stock with the best opportunity per se right out of the gate, but it's still a stock that you should get prepared on, which we're doing, and add it to the watch list. And if it does set up, you can simply react to an opportunity, and there may be some potential to make some profits today with IFBD, okay? DWAC is another back burner today, tomorrow, and Friday. I do not want to take DWAC off the watch list. And the reason why, throw the stock on like a 4-hour time frame, we can see that it's setting up with a pretty ugly but ascending triangle breakout formation. Since we moved off of that $50 level back in January, we ripped up to 93. Pulled back, put in a really nice double bottom, nice leg back up into resistance. Just pulled back again into this multi-week uptrend. So right now it's building these consistent higher lows. Flat resistance. This stock could break on out today. Could be tomorrow, Friday, next week. As long as we hold these higher lows and ideally hold this uptrend, we look good for a possible break over resistance. And resistance right now is right around 93.35. Now, if we get this ascending triangle breakout formation on DWAC, where could we see it go? $100. And then 110.22. So this could be a great day trade opportunity when this sets up. This could be a great swing trade opportunity when this sets up. So right now, I don't know if it's going to happen today, right? It's definitely not one of the top stocks out of the gate, but it's definitely a stock that should go on your back burner watch list. Get prepared. Watch this periodically throughout the day. We start to see what we want to see, and this pattern is starting to really play on out. We have great opportunity in the very near future here on DWAC. So definitely be watching DWAC. All right. Another back burner stock that may have some potential today. Now, this is a prior day mover. This is BKKT, right? So what we're looking for here on BKKT to see that next leg up and for volume to really start moving back in is for this stock to break over Monday's highs of 621. Now, if this stock, BKKT, can break that 621, we have room to 665, $7, and then $8. We're just lacking volume right now, but it's a prior day mover, and we know a lot of traders are going back to these prior day movers, and these are some of the top stocks of the day. Remember CFVI, right? Some of these prior day movers are the stocks that we need to be focused on. BKKT, I think this one has good potential, but I don't think we have that opportunity until we break 621. And that's where I expect to see a lot of volume start to move back in, pushing the stock to 665, $7, and then $8 on BKKT. Stock that has opportunity, but right now it is on the back burner. We're just watching it to see if traders move on in. KAVL, guys, I'm liking KAVL a lot. Why do I like KAVL? Can anybody tell me what we're seeing here on the daily chart with KAVL? All right, what are we seeing on KAVL, guys? Possibly. Big candle, baby. I love it. Good job, Rebecca. Absolutely. Right now, at this point in time, we may have a possible mid candle breakout formation on KAVL. We do have support at 135. Okay, right now, we're actually going to be gapping up just a little bit. Ideally, we don't want to see the gap up. We want to see a slight gap down and then start to see the breakout. But we actually have a really nice potential mid candle breakout today. So where could we see the volume really start to move back in here on KAVL? Well, I would say we'd really start to see some interest and some activity move into KAVL, breaking over 165. Now you have a lot of resistance up to 182. Okay, so I know there's not a lot of opportunity here, but at least we should watch this, because if we break that 165 and we see strength and we see buyers and we have the volume and it's holding on up above 165, I mean, hey, so 181 is not bad. But when we break over 181 to 182, if we can, we have potential to $2. So there is some good potential today on KAVL for a possible mid-candle breakout. Support right now is back down towards around 135. And I think once we start to break 165, that's when we're going to see some traders move in. That's when we could see the volume start to move back in and see that leg up to 182 and possibly even $2. Okay. NVCT, I'm kind of 50-50 with it if I even want to have this stock on a back burner, but I kind of do. And the reason why is we have $5 support coming on up, but if we crack below 5, we have a very good bounce play level down towards around 438. All right. So again, I know the stock was ripping and running on Monday. Not a lot yesterday, nothing in pre-market, but we are coming back down into a couple levels of support. And I'm curious to see if this stock can hold one of these levels and if volume starts to move back in, right? We have 557, one of Monday's spiking high. We ripped up towards around 557. We pulled back down towards 438. We broke on out. We pulled back. We broke on out. Great momentum, great activity with NVCT. So a couple levels that you need to be aware of and watch these levels to see where traders are stepping back up to the plate. 557, one of Monday's levels of resistance. You got $5 natural support, and then you can see it all the way back down towards around 438. You got about that $1.20 window where this stock could find support. And if it finds support, we could definitely see that volume start to move back in. And if we do, this stock has already proven itself. We know this stock can go on a big time move to the upside. It went from $4 to $10.35 throughout the day. It was clean. It was consistent. Pretty easy. So again, if we get that volume again, we could see some nice movements once again here on NVCT. But again, we have a little bit more room to the downside, especially if we cannot hold above that 557. Run yourself a little bit of a downtrend on the stock and just kind of be mindful that, you want to probably break that downtrend as well. So right now we're just watching it. There's no reason to trade it at this point in time. We're just sitting back looking to see where it holds on up, where volume starts to move back in. When we see a reversal from downtrend to uptrend, that's when we can get involved. And NVCT still has potential. All right. So I definitely want to watch this one as well. Now, some of the top stocks that I'm watching for today, right? Out of the gate, top stocks, and we'll cast a vote here in a moment and see what you guys are thinking. I'm watching PHUN. We called this one out here inside of chat over 345. We have room to 380. Ended up hitting 373. So old resistance is new support, right? So right now we want to see PHUN stay above 345, and we do have room to 380. And when we can break over 380, if we can break over 380, we would have some room up towards around $4. PHUN has a lot of great potential. I do want to keep this stock on high watch today. This is a prior mover. It's a former runner. The stock again yesterday went from around 280 all the way up towards around 344. Nice little uptrend. Support back down at 345. Overall, I think PHUN has some pretty good potential today. All right, so definitely one of the top stocks that I want to watch out of the gates. 345 support, room to 380, and then $4. Slight uptrend support as well. Definitely keep PHUN on high watch today. We're watching DCFC, right? Obviously, this stock was a pretty nice runner yesterday from $7 all the way up towards around $11.80. Became kind of choppy towards the end of the day. Got a quick little pop there in post market, and then now getting some great volume as we're breaking above that 1120 to 1180 resistance. So right now, the sky is the limit. Our next main level of resistance on DCFC is going to be $15 natural resistance. Support right now is going to be back down towards around yesterday's resistance and then pre-market support once we broke out. So we had some resistance right around 1156. What happened when we broke above 1156? We consolidated, we formed a bull flag into the 9 EMA, into the VWAP, volume moves back in, we see a nice break out of this bull flag. So right now, it's showing some consistency. We have a beautiful flag pattern. It broke out, the volume's here, it's clean, it's consistent, the technicals are being honored. I like DCFC. Again, we have 1156 support at this time. That's probably one of the better levels of support. This could be a nice gap and go, guys, right? Nice little gap up, flagging out of pre-market. We could easily see a gap and go over 13, straight up to 15 bucks. Now, if this stock ever breaks 15, your next main level is going to be $20. Again, a top stock that I think we should watch today is going to be DCFC. We're trading 6 million shares here in pre-market. On average, it's 2 million. We have the focus. We have the attention. It's a prior day mover, and we can see it's pretty clean and consistent here in pre-market and definitely looks good for today. So one of the top stocks, again, we are going to be watching out of the gate, DCFC. And then last but not least, CFVI. I still think CFVI has good potential. We were not touching the stock yesterday as we could not break above that 1678. We talked a lot about this yesterday and how that level is very, very important for us to break back above before getting the next leg up. So that's what we're watching. CFVI. It's been building some nice higher lows since yesterday. It's consolidating under that level of resistance, showing some potential strength. So if we see that breakout over resistance after we've done consolidated for an entire day, building on up with those higher lows, this could be a nice, clean, and strong breakout over that $17 level. So CFVI over 17, I would look to take the stock long back up to Monday's highs. If we ever break over Monday's highs, we do have room to $20 next here on CFVI. So again, my top stocks that I'm watching out of the gate and the reasons why, it's going to be PHUN, DCFC, and CFVI. Back burner stocks and the reasons why that we just talked about as a little bit of a recap. MITQ, IFBD, right? DWAC, BKKT, I definitely like that. KAVL for the possible mid-candle breakout. And then NVCT sitting back looking to see where the stock finds support as we still show potential for another leg to the upside. But out of the gate, top stocks at this point in time, CFVI, DCFC, and PHUN. I think these stocks have the best potential right at 930. This is where my focus is going to be, guys. All right. What am I watching as far as large cap stocks today? So we can see the SPYs up 5 points. We see the Qs up 4 points. Assuming this is not a false move higher, assuming this is a strong move, assuming we are now becoming in the clear little by little, we're starting to move higher, looking pretty good. Assuming the markets hold up, assuming this is not a false move higher, I'm assuming we don't fade and fall, right? And start dumping back on off. I'm looking to go long on these stocks, okay? I'm looking to go long on Apple today. We talked about Apple for the inverse head and shoulders formation on Monday. And we set up beautifully since Monday, right? We held the 50 SMA. We bounced aggressively off the 50 SMA yesterday. Overall, this was a beautiful inverse head and shoulders formation. And what's taking place? We're actually breaking and gapping up here in pre-market. Apple from 174.83 up over 176 neckline resistance. So what I'm looking today on Apple, assuming the overall market holds up, we don't see it dumping back on off, as long as Apple can stay above 176. And I would actually say 175.27 at the lowest. Okay, at the lowest, 175.27, but ideally, this level shows strength is 176. If we can stay above one of these levels, and assuming the overall market doesn't roll back on over and start selling on off, that could cause this potential long opportunity to not work out. I would think about taking this long for a swing trade back up to those all-time highs. You know, that's your next main level of resistance off this breakout formation, off this reversal, is going to be a retest of that prior high, which is right around 182. So I'm definitely watching Apple for some day trade opportunities today. I'm also looking to get a nice little swing trade opportunity here on Apple, assuming the broader market holds on up. And that goes for everything that we're talking about. So same thing with AMD, right? AMD's gapping up. We're gapping up over 129.76 resistance. If AMD can hold above old resistance as new support, 129.76, we have room to 134.98 today with AMD. But again, broader market rolls on over. This is a false move higher. That's going to impact the success of this long setup, right? So I wouldn't take it long if the SPY and the Q start dumping, fading, and falling. But assuming the markets stay intact, they sit sideways, they're slightly trending higher, I'm definitely looking for a long opportunity on AMD as well. Same thing goes for Crowd, CRWD. We have an inverse head and shoulders formation looking to get that breakout today here on CRWD. So over 184, I'd be looking to take CRWD first to 187.46 and then up towards around 191. Again, assuming the overall market doesn't roll on over. So again, CRWD, inverse head and shoulders formation on the daily. Breaking 184, we have potential to 187.46. Over 187.46, we have room to our 50 SMA right around 191. So definitely watching CRWD as well. And then Boeing. Right? So Boeing, this was the daily flag back on Monday, over 209. That's the level we were looking for. We broke out, we held, we ripped to 214. Yesterday, we didn't really do a lot on Boeing, but we are gapping up above Monday's resistance. So again, assuming the overall market doesn't roll on over, right? And there's not a lot of excess volatility. Things are calm, cool, collected. As long as Boeing stays above 214.26, we're looking to take Boeing up to 220 to 221. So if you did not get your initial trade on Boeing over 209 off the daily bull flag, and you missed that initial $5 move to the upside, you may have this stock setting back up for you today for another $5 to $6 continuation move to the upside off of this daily bull flag breakout. So over 214.26, it looks good. And break over those pre-market highs, your next target on Boeing is going to be that 200 SMA up towards around 221. Spotify, I highly doubt it's going to do anything today. I'm taking that off. And then I am going to watch Netflix. I don't know if Netflix is ready just yet today, but I'm definitely liking Netflix, guys. All right, so again, earnings, gap down. We pulled back for about 4 days, down to quick bottom. We formed a U shape. We started ripping back up. Hit resistance. We started pulling back, decreasing volume into support. We're starting to find a new bottom, right? Looking like we could start to U shape here for the next leg up. That's what I'm looking at here on Netflix, right? So far, the volume increased along the leg up, volume decreasing along the pullback, finding support, okay? I want to see Netflix form this U shape on the daily. And the next daily candle that makes a new high, right, off support. So the next daily candle that actually holds a new high, I'm looking to swing trade Netflix back up towards that prior high. That prior high here before we started selling off last week was 457.56, and then to fill the daily gap up towards around 504. So I think there's a lot of great potential coming on up on Netflix, not only for day trades, for a nice multi-week swing trade as well. So again, I don't know if it's ready yet today, but Netflix for me is on high watch. Initial target 457, and then a possible daily gap fill up towards around 504. Again, for the 10th time, assuming the overall market holds up, assuming there's not a lot of volatility, assuming things are calm, maybe sideways and range bound, slight trend higher, assuming there's not a lot of excess attention and volatility with the SPY and the Qs in the broader market, we can see these individual stocks do their thing like they have been the past few days as the SPY and the Qs have really been sitting sideways. So that's my approach for today, really putting some focus on the SPY and the Qs, looking at these larger cap stocks to the long side. Everything looks great. Things look good. Couple swing trades, a lot of great day trades as well. And then overall, the penny stock market has been very consistent this week. So things are starting to shape back up. Things are becoming more normal. This is a time that we can become aggressive, right? This is the time that we can actually, it's called controlled aggression, right? Obviously, you have to control how aggressive you are, understand market conditions. Do you need to scale back and be a little bit more risk adverse, right? And not take as much risk on your trades? I tell you what, guys, the way the penny stock market has been lately, it's making me more confident to scale into size, to be more aggressive, to capitalize on these clean, consistent moves, right? We're not seeing a lot of choppiness. We're not seeing a lot of rug pulls. While the market is the way the market is for penny stocks, this is the time that I feel, for me, I can become more aggressive and not be as conservative with my position sizing as things are working out, things are consistent, things are moving clean. So I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive today, and we're looking to hit it hard. All right. So let's go ahead and cast a quick little poll. All right. Let's do a quick poll on what stock you think is going to do the best today. For those of you over on YouTube, go ahead and type inside of chat. What stock do you think is going to do the best today? Do you think it's going to be CFVI? Right? Do you think it's going to be DCFC? I think the number one stock today is going to be PHUN. I think the number one stock today is going to be a back burner, right? We have our back burner list. Do you think the number one stock today is going to be a large cap play? So again, we got a couple penny stocks out of my watch list. Maybe you guys think it's a back burner. Maybe you think it's a large cap play for options. Maybe it's Netflix. Maybe it's Crowd. Maybe it's Apple or Boeing that we just talked about. I want to know what you guys are currently thinking. So, ladies and gentlemen, inside the chat, go ahead and cast your votes on what stock do you think is going to do the best today. Benji saying NVIDIA. Steve, not SNDL. That's the one I'm picking. All right. So for me, I'm not a fan of SNDL. That's just my personal preference. Everybody has their own way of dissecting their stocks and identifying their opportunities. I'm not a fan of large floats, but if you see the opportunity and maybe you're a slower thinker, not a slower thinker, but maybe you're a deep thinker, right? A deep thinker. Want to see that stock play out throughout the day, then SNDL would be a good all-day hold for you. See me, I'm a quick thinker, right? I'm on the spot, on the fly, thinking quick. I want to scalp the markets. I want to get in quick, get out quick. So that's my approach for the market. So again, guys, cast your votes. What stock do you think is going to do the best today? I call it boing. That's how I call it. Boing. So the team right now, 44% of chat saying back burner. Got some AMD, DCFC, PHUN, KAVL, CFVI. I mean, I like them all, guys. There's a lot of great opportunity. But I'm wanting to see what you guys think. So again, real quick, cast your votes if you have not done so yet. And right now we can see inside of chat that 40% of chat saying a back burner stock, right? So if you guys think it's going to be a back burner, let's go ahead and focus on a back burner stock. And I would say one of the best back burners is KAVL. Let's have some fun. Let's make it happen, team. And let's lock in some great profits. Making sure we're all set, ready to rock. Again, KAVL over 165, guys. KAVL over 165. That's where we could really start to see that rip and run. You know, MITQ was a decent one, guys. Right, MITQ was pretty decent. This one is flagging out of pre-market here on MITQ. MITQ had earnings, low float, good volume. This could be a little bit of a gap and go as it's flagging out of pre-markets on a 5-minute chart. So we break out of this flag. This could be a go-to, little gap and go setup. But right now we have to sit back and wait to see if this stock's going to hold on up. PHUN on high alert. 344 to 345. That's your trend line. That's prior resistance, new support. Right now, high watch, PHUN off 344. We can see a nice big bounce, pushing the stock back up to 373 and then 380 here on PHUN. Nice little gap and go here on DCFC. Again, flagging out of pre-markets, breaking over pre-market highs. Nice little gap and go here. So a couple levels of support that you should be mindful of. Prior resistance, 1289. We crack below 1289, you're coming back down to 12. Crack below 12, you have room back down to 1156 here on DCFC. Then again, CFVI, guys, over that 1678, CFVI has a lot of potential. Now, 17 as well, right? 1678 to 17, but that's when we're going to see that volume really start to move back in here on CFVI, pushing the stock possibly back up to that 1817 to 1850 level. As you guys can see at this point in time, I have no open positions. Okay, so I am tradeless at this point in time. Yes, I'm tradeless. Looking to see where traders go. Watching the breakout scanner, watching the high of the day momentum, watching our halt and resume. What stock is the stock that traders are landing on? Is it going to be DCFC? Right? I'm still not a fan of the quick breaks on out and the first pullback. I'm not a fan of taking the first pullback into pre-market resistance as new support. We've seen those setups fail a lot. So normally, this is a go-to. We get a spike, right, over pre-market highs, our first pullback into pre-market highs as new support. I would be all over this trade as a long for the quick pop on up. However, we haven't seen that consistency yet, team. We have not seen the break over pre-market highs, the pullback, the hold, the bounce, the rip. We haven't seen that play on out and hold on up. So I'm not taking those types of trades because those types of trades have not been working. And look at this. We're starting to fall right on back down below. So right now, we have room back down towards around 1217. 1217 here on DCFC. DWAC trying to get some action here. But PHUN and DWAC looking exactly the same. DCFC. Want to see where the stock's going to find support. Look at that. It actually closed right back above that level, guys. That's actually not bad. I would consider taking that trade right now. I would keep my stops very, very tight. But the fact that we wicked all the way down to 1260 and pushed right back up shows some strength that traders are here and they want to hold this above that 1287. So I would have considered it if I was looking at DCFC for that rip back up. As we didn't close below that level, we had a very strong push back on up there. CFVI rejected. You got BKKT. Getting some action. Again, this stock must break and hold above that 621 before this thing could really take on off. But right now we have KAVL for the possible mid-candle breakout, guys. So right now we ripped right up into our 165 resistance. If we can sit here and consolidate sideways just for a little bit before getting that breakout, I would definitely jump in to KAVL for the possible mid-candle breakout up to 180. So I'm watching KAVL right now as my #1 stock for the candle breakout. Some consolidation under resistance with the breakout on volume shows some strength. I'm definitely interested with KAVL here, guys. I like DCFC as well. I like PHUN also, but I think we have room back down to that 344, 345 first. So right now, the top two stocks that I think have the best potential, where I think your guys' focus needs to be right now. KAVL for the mid candle, okay? And then DCFC. I think right now, these are the top two stocks you guys should be looking at. Still watching the breakout scanner, high day momentum scanner, looking to see if any of these stocks start creeping on up, hitting these scanners. That's going to tell us this is where traders are going. But my focus right now at this point in time, I'm just going to watch KAVL. All right, how's Boeing doing? Boeing, it lost that 214, got right back above team. So if Boeing breaks above 215.74, I would take this long to the 200-day moving average. Stops would be under low a day. Netflix is getting really darn close for an entry, guys. Netflix is getting really darn close for an entry. I'm liking CRWD here as well, guys. Again, CRWD breaking this neckline or this downtrend, which technically we already have. I'd like to see this one get a nice clean break over 184 as we have room to 187. All right, now my number one watch is KAVL for the possible mid-candle breakout. I want to see some volume, and then I want to see the stock really try and break that 165. You're like, what? You're going to trade a breakout, Josh? Well, I tell you what, guys, we've seen a lot of clean and consistent breakouts lately. So I feel just a little bit more confident to take a breakout, right? Because we've been seeing these penny stocks actually break out and actually hold on up. We have volume starting to move on in. I mean, I could put stops below 160. That's not too tight. We have room to 180, about 25 cents to the upside. See a little bit of volume starting to move back in. Want to see some buyers step up. Here we go. I'm starting a position on KAVL. I want to get that mid candle going, guys. Want to see if we can get that mid candle going. Like I said, I'm not really a breakout trader, but any stock market has been more consistent lately than it's been the last few months, which makes me a little bit more confident to take a breakout trade when we have volume, right? When we see price action, something that we haven't had lately, volume and good price action. So we've seen a lot cleaner breakouts lately. It's a mid-candle breakout. I love mid-candles. I'm long KAVL 168 for the break over the highs. Looking to take it to 181 and then potentially $2 here on KAVL. Don't want to see this back below 165 ideally. Very good volume on that candle. Very good volume. Right now, there's no reason for me to sell, for me to get scared out. Really nice volume so far. So again, we had volume along the leg up, decreased volume as we pulled back into the 9 EMA, showing some momentum, increased volume along the breakout. Overall, KAVL does not look bad. First target is 180. When I hit first target, I'll bring stops to break even, ride the rest for a runner to 2. Getting ready to lock in some profits here. We're getting close. Going to start scaling out a little bit, guys. I missed my target there, close to 180, but I took about a fourth off the table here on KAVL. So just a little bit to get paid. There's 190, 179. Is this going to try and break just 180 and go? What's the halt level right now? 201 is the halt level. I may take a little bit more here and re-add on the dip. I may take a little bit more profit here on KAVL. I'm taking some more profit, and I may add back in on the dip for the pop over 180. I went ahead and I just I took about half my position off the table up towards around that 180 resistance. I didn't get a big size. Or I didn't get a huge size like I wanted. Started off small with the breakout, right? Because I know I'm not the breakout trader. This is the first breakout trade I've taken in a very long time. So I don't really feel like this is the time or the setup to be aggressive. It was definitely a setup I wanted to take. Definitely an opportunity that I saw. I wanted to get a position on the table, but I wasn't willing to take on too much risk, and I wasn't willing to be extremely aggressive on this particular setup. But I still wanted to get my feet wet. So a base hit's a base hit. Green's green. We come back down into like that 165. I may add on the dip. We do have that 9 EMA holding as some support, as trying to establish just a little bit of momentum. So right now I'm still holding half my position. I want to see a nice decreasing volume pullback into a level of support. And if we see that nice, healthy decreasing volume pullback into a level of support and we start to see buyers move back in, I will add my position here on KAVL as I'm looking for that bigger move, possibly up towards round 2. And I'm willing to be patient and work with this stock here. So right now, nice little technical breakout. We were up about 200 bucks at one point off that nice technical breakout, right? We saw the volume move on in. Nice little break over resistance. This stock has a lot of hype. This stock has a lot of activity right now. The technicals are definitely being honored, and that's why we're currently in this trade right now, KAVL. We're currently up, a couple hundred bucks. So right now, guys, we are just kind of sitting back, working this trade on KAVL right now. It still looks okay. I don't see any reason to get scared out of this trade, any reason to cut it completely. I came into this trade with the approach of I'll take profit up towards around 181. And I would be willing to break even on this trade just to be patient with it, as I do believe it has room to 2. So right now, if I do scale in, it'll bring my cost basis up just a little bit. And what I'm willing to do is put a stop at break even on the trade. So I'd be willing to walk away with no green, but no red, just to continue to work this trade. Scale in, looking for that $2 target here on KAVL, but I'm still holding about half my position. I was only able to lock in about 10 cents a share there along that initial pop on up. I think we might get one more little drop on down before we actually get that pop on up. Might come back down into like that 167, 168. But it's very tempting here to start re-adding to my position. I don't want to see it sit here too long. I want to see traders make a decision. I don't want to see it sit here too long and just sit, become indecisive. There's your drop back down to that 165. That's where you want to see the stock bounce. Like I said, I'm going to add along the dip. If I get stopped out at break even on the trade, I get stopped out. I'm still looking at the bigger picture here. A little bit of a different approach than what I'm used to, but we've seen the consistency penny stocks. It's a good mid-candle breakout. We had the move right out of the gate. Again, not a all-in, all-out approach. Definitely taking this trade just a little bit differently than I normally do. But again, I'm just testing a new little approach, again, since we've had some decent momentum in the market lately. I did add into my position there at 168. Cost basis is still 168. I did take some initial profits there towards the high of day. So even if this does come back down to, say, 164, that'll put me right around break even on the trade completely. I'm okay with. So not really seeing the volume there on that last candle that I'd really like to see. Suggest that buyers are really here taking that dip buy off of 165. I mean, it came down and it bounced, but we're not seeing the volume move back in to KAVL. Not a bad bounce, though. We may get that nice little reversal here. I'm going to add a little bit more to KAVL. And that's the one thing that I'm just not crazy about. That volume really died on off. That volume really should have started to move back in by now. Especially off that bounce of 165 back above 170. If this trade was going to get that action, I'd expected to see just a little bit more volume and not as much struggling to actually get that momentum pop back up. But I mean, right now is the time that we should see this move. If this one doesn't start breaking out here, back up to 180, I'm going to start exiting this position. If this doesn't start moving here, I am going to get out because this is the point in time that you want to see the stock start to move. This is where we want to see that volume move back in over 175. If we get a nice little momentum break over 180, again, we have some great potential up towards around 2. And here's the volume. Buyers are back above 175. We got about 388 on the day now. Glad I added on the dip. Let's see if we can get a little bit more. We have that 179 to 181 resistance here on KAVL. Really want to see buyers stay above this 175. 176 from the buyers. $177 strong. 177 is not getting taken out. Got a big order up there. There we go. Now we took him out. Moving up to 177, 179. Let's get a break and rip and run. Let's take a little bit of profit there. That's what I'm talking about. That's how we do it here inside the chat, baby. Quick wins for the team. Let's go ahead and start scaling out little by little by little. All right, selling at resistance. Selling at resistance. 181. We want to see buyers above that 180, not dropping below. Let's see if we can get $2. I'm scaling out. I'm out about probably 60% of my position is currently closed. I'm holding about 1,200 shares left. Running a tight trailing stop now on this trade. Back below 180. I'm going to start locking it up and look for another entry. You got about 36,000 shares at 183. And we're not taking that order out. So buyers are starting to become a little weak right here. Pretty decent seller there at 183. But now you have some bids stepping up to the plate. So now you got some bids stepping up to the plate. Buyers want it, guys. Buyers want it. Over 185. I don't think $2 is out of sight at all. Buyers got to step up now. 185. We've reclaimed 185. Big buyers at 185. We want to start to see this squeeze on up over 190. Below 185, I'm taking more profit, guys. Running a very tight trailing stop loss on this because I'm locking in those profits. This is a beautiful one and done. So again, 185 is my level. Want to see those buyers hold on up. You got about 30,000 shares at 185. 3,000 shares. Got taken out. I'm out of the trade. I'm out right now. I'll take a quick 624. There we go, baby. Nice quick win. Easy peasy. Love it. Good job, traders. Good job. So again, that was a very nice technical breakout. over 165 and a beautiful technical pullback to 165 where I added that position. And again, we had a very nice technical mid candle breakout formation that traders really like. And we saw this stock have a nice little move from 155 to 188, locking in 624.50. Who else grabbed that inside of chat? I saw some profits. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. We got Ron with some KAVL. I love it. Ron saw the mid candle. Ron said, you know what? I like it. I'm going to jump on in. Going to make it happen. Good job, Mr. Ron. And everybody else in chat that was sitting back and watching. Okay, do you guys want me to review this trade? You guys want me to recap what I saw, why I got in? Tried to do the best that I could with breaking it down ahead of time, why I wanted to trade it, why I was even going to trade a breakout in the first place, market conditions, my mindset. I really tried to break that down as thoroughly as possible as to why I was getting in the trade, why I was considering it, where I was adding, why I was adding, and where I was taking profit, and again, why I was taking profit. So, hey, $1,400 on KAVL. Woo! Let's go. Let's go. Good job. Hey, paper's paper. I like it. 70 bucks on paper. I love it. You're practicing. You're getting your feet wet. You're learning. Does that trade make sense to everybody? The reasoning behind the trade. Why I got in, right? Why I got out where I got out. Why I rebought the dip where I bought the dip. Does that trade really sink in? Does this make sense? Right? From before the breakout to taking profits. Does that 20 minutes of trading really click with you guys and really make sense? That's the point here. Not like, oh, we just made money, but that the fact that making the trade makes sense. Trader King, nice. Took a nice 120 on KAVL. Way to start the day, guys. Way to start the day. We're not even 23 minutes into the day, and we've already got some great profits here inside of chat, so good job. Good job. So what do we have going on? I know someone said we have the meme stock moving again, which off 15, I could expect to see it move back to 20. I don't think it's sustainable. I mean, it's a double bottom, right? You have some bullish divergence, double bottom. It's trying to get some action. And AMC has room back up towards around 1864, then potentially 20 bucks. But when I think that once we hit that 1864 and 20, you're going to start falling back down again, right? The hype is very short-lived on AMC, right? Now, last year, there's a lot of hype, but again, it was very short-lived. Every time it bounces, a few days, and it drops. It bounces, a few days, it drops. It bounces, a few days, it drops. So these moves with AMC are very short-lived. Would I swing trade this thinking it's going to actually squeeze back to the upside? No, but I would absolutely day trade it. Right? Absolutely day trade the opportunity here. So if we're looking for the next best trade, I would say the next best setup is MITQ off 163. You have some decent momentum off the 9 EMA. Nice break over pre-market highs. Watch for the stock to pull back to 163. See if we can hold above 163. And if we can, we do have room to 183 there on MITQ. MITQ looking pretty good. IFBD, not really the best opportunity. DWAC, not right now. PHUN, not right now. DCFC, not right now. CFEI, nothing here at the moment. BKKT, my swing trade's actually looking pretty good. I believe we have some room to 665 on BKKT. And then I believe we have some room to $8. Right now, I'm up 240 on the swing trade. Nothing crazy. I only took 240 shares overnight from my yesterday entry. Got about $1 a share out of this right now over on BKKT. SBEV has been flirting with me lately, guys. SBEV been that stock that wants it, but it drops. We did type this one up today. This was on our morning stock newsletter. This stock was posted inside the chat as well. And it was SBEV is still on high watch today. If we can break and hold over $5 with volume. We have room to 539, daily gap fill, and $6. So high watch, break, and hold over $5 with volume. The one thing that we've been lacking, right, the last couple attempts was volume. So volume is very key. A break and hold with volume. We saw that over $5. We ripped right up, pretty darn close to that 539 fill. Again, we hit 537. We had room to 539, but we still have potential today, team. Over 539 on SPEV, we have great potential to $6. So I think SPEV needs to be on high watch as well. BKKT, guys, picking up some steam here. I don't see any reason to sell this yet. Right now, we're looking pretty good here. Got about $1 share to the upside on BKKT off the swing. Diego said, let her know what's up. Let the stock know what's up. Talk dirty to it. So again, right now, KAVL was the best trade. Is there another very just solid setup? Anything that I really just want to jump in on? I mean, I'm liking BKKT, not only to manage my swing trade, but for some day trades, guys. Right? I mean, this stock has a lot of great potential to 665. Support right now is going to be back down towards around this trend line, as well as prior resistance at 627. 627 is your level of support. Have the trend line there as well. All right, guys. So those of you on the tube, hey, I was in the zone. I was in a trade, trying to make sure that we had some fun. We got you guys educated, prepared for the day. And again, my goal is to allow us to get quick wins. And today, I accomplished one of my goals, right? Was getting a quick win before we shut down that stream. So, who was able to make some profits this morning? Did anybody else get into KAVL over on YouTube? Did you guys get to anything else based on our morning preparation session? Again, I want to make sure you guys are locking in some profits, but more importantly, you understand why you're locking in profits. Not just, hey, I locked in profits because Josh said to buy, but I actually understand why I took the trade in the first place. And I want to make sure that you guys are learning why I'm taking the trades I'm taking. So the next time you see something similar, you don't need me. You don't need to lean on me. You're like, I remember that trade that Josh took. That's a mid-candle breakout. This is what he was looking for. This is how he made his entries. This is how he scaled out, right? I know what he did based on that strategy and that setup. I can do that, right? I don't need him. That's music to my ears when you say, I don't need you. Good. Do it on your own. I want you to. All right, guys, so enjoy the rest of your day over on the tube. If you guys want to join, hit me up, josh@alphadaytrading.com. We'd love to have you a part of the team, trade with you all day, every day. Until next time, happy and safe trading. Enjoy the rest of your hump day. I hope you guys are able to get a nice quick win with me there on KAVL. Other than that, guys, good job, good work. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions, you can email me anytime, josh@alphadaytrading.com. Once again, enjoy your day. Happy and safe trading, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow morning right at 9 o'clock.